Hello, America, and to our friends around the world, greetings. Welcome back. And this one's out of Florida. Headline says it all. Dad shows up to custody swap with another woman. Then mom kills her, Florida cops say. And the story goes just as you would expect. An unhinged, mentally unwell woman who is upset that she was replaced decides that the solution to being replaced is to permanently end the competition and the one who benefited from the upgrade. It's a dark, dark world, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, girls and boys, boys and girls. Custody swaps are a dangerous thing. Anybody's gone through it, you always have a little bit of trepidation as you look at who it is that's in the car with them. And now it's escalated to, well, escalated may not be the right word. It's devolved into a new low of even the mother cannot be trusted. We've come to a crazy point in our lives where we need our own personal security detail or something to that effect when it comes to civil matters, as men are often told such an issue. Oh, we can't get involved. That's a civil issue. Unless they've got tits. And then you know they damn well show up. All right, let's get going on this. A mom, no, she's not a mom. She's a murderer. Showed up to a custody swap, 5 kids and a gun. She killed a woman who arrived with her ex. So this unhinged, mentally unwell woman who was granted permission by the state to have custody of children, because what's more important than the safety of the children and or those who are connected to the children is the judge's wallet and bank account. If you're not aware, as I've said oftentimes, in family court, divorce court, judges get a financial incentive. They get $666 from the federal government paid into the court, and all of the judges who've made the most amount of rulings for financial obligations receive a percentage of the $666 per $1,000 judgment orders. And it's an incentive payment bonus. It's an incentive bonus payout tier. There's plenty of accounts that demonstrate how you can research this evidence. And if anybody wants to dispute it, that's on them, but it exists. I've looked it up. I've seen somebody do it for California, and I've looked it up for Oregon and Washington. It exists, and it's probably the best way to vet your judge to know what kind of ruling or just us ruling they're going to make on your case. So this happened a year and a half ago. And so she's guilty of second-degree murder, attempted murder, 5 counts child neglect, fleeing, and eluding. Because she went on, she shot, then she calls 911 and puts them on a 12-mile police chase. Let's go into this a little bit more. But at least you're seeing here that she was sentenced to life in prison, which means she's going to get 5 years. It's not acceptable. Doesn't Florida have capital punishment? I've said it before. The only 2 tiers that groups that death penalty should be applied are government agents, whether it's representatives, senators, bureaucrats, law enforcement, judges, whatever. If you work for the government in any capacity, contractor, direct hire, and you are found by a court to have violated your position, immediate execution, because it's abuse of power. And women, because women are violent and given soft sentences, because even though she's sentenced to life in prison, some simp on a parole panel is going to be like, well, if I pardon her, maybe she'll thank me by calling me up and taking care of my needs later. It's a sick world out there. That's the priorities people put on safety and security, and you know, uh, legal remedies. So her lawyer is a spineless loser. There isn't a moment that doesn't go by that I don't deeply regret what I've done, is what she wrote, that the lawyer read in court. In all honesty, if I had one wish, it would be for Anna to be here with all her family and friends, and for this to have never happened. The woman had an 11-month-old with a man, so she was a mother. So this jealous woman, unhinged, mentally unwell, jealous woman, deprived a child, an infant, of their mother. Let that sink in. I've admonished women that as long as you advocate for the womanist ideology, this is the evil that you allow to exist. And in a way, I have no sympathy for you as a victim of discrimination, because if you allow this evil to persist all because of girl power, then you deserve the world that you create for yourself. But that child that came into this world doesn't deserve that, and that's the rub about the womanist ideology. Is it's a very narcissistic, very selfish thing that nothing matters other than women being given positions and leniency in places that they don't merit, but it's at the cost and at the blood of innocence. Christmas Day 2023, she drove 5 kids to Walgreens, Gainesville for custody swap. In the car, mom took apparently the youngest of the 5. Okay, so maybe the murdered woman wasn't a mother. My misunderstanding, perhaps. So she took out a weapon, cocked it, and then she got out of her vehicle, put it behind her, hit it, and shot the woman 3 times, and then tried to take out the father too. So 6 shots, and screaming, "You made this happen." Yeah, how? How did he make it happen? The fact that you're mentally unwell and a court isn't being responsible and institutionalizing you? Yeah. The failure's on the initial courts for not properly protecting society from her evil. So whoever was the judge that first allowed her to have custody, they need to be ended. Then she sped away with 5 children going 90 in at 45, so double the speed limit. That's, if I'm not mistaken, considered reckless driving. All right, so the police tried to box her in. She drove around the vehicles, going into the grass. So if it's on the interstate, depending on where you're at, you're probably already familiar. The eastbound lane, westbound lane, northbound lane, southbound lanes are usually separated by about a good 50 feet to 100 feet of grassy, to separate traffic. Some of them sometimes have barricades to keep from opposite traveling traffic from doing head-ons and whatnot. So that's why, she's traveling more than 100 miles an hour. She's probably on 90 and getting it, going around the patrol cars and getting into the grass into the center area. Let's see. So 13-mile chase. I was wrong. I thought it was 12. Called 911, told operators she had shot 2 people. And the kids, the kids are in the back begging her to stop. Okay, so the victim, the woman victim, Haslup Terrill, she has 4 kids, but the father survived. But that's not, I mean, that's great that the father survived, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that this woman intentionally murdered her her perceived threat and competition out of a rage and jealousy. We have a We have such a disservice to society by protecting these maniacs. Even in Portland, there's protesters, well, our sanctuary city, oh, you're never going to take it away. These people are 50 years of untreated mentally ill individuals that are committing the violence everywhere. And we're seeing this, that women are the biggest. Alyssa Azar is a great example in the Pacific Northwest as an example of an unhinged lunatic committing violence and getting away with it. So my condolences to the surviving family and those injured, and to the woman that lost her life. This is something that never should have happened, and the blood is on the court's hand. I mean, there is no wavering on that. The court put their bank account ahead of their duty. That's all there is for it. And all the participants, the clerk, the judge, the lawyers that allowed this to go, that allowed her to be untreated and not committed and not remanded to another court for being committed, they're complicit and they need to be prosecuted. Perhaps Robert Barnes or somebody, you know, if they've got somebody that would be able to demonstrate why that could or could not happen. But we need to start prosecuting these officiants, because if you've ever read anything, the even your lawyer, so the judge, the clerk, the lawyers, their first duty is to the court, not to you, the client, or to the person that's seeking justice. Nor is it so the first duty is to the court. Then it's to their bar membership, you know. And I have no idea if it's really a British accreditation registry thingy or whatever they call it, the BAR. But so the first obligation is to the court, second is to the bar, third is to the municipality, state, and maybe, if you're lucky, to you, the fourth. You're ranked number 4 on priorities. And they included a segment about her obituary, that she was a very well enjoyer of nature and what our planet has to offer and her interactions with it. This is a woman who is going to be missed and should never have been ended by a rampaging lunatic. So let's hope that she never gets out of prison, and let's hope that somebody does take up at least a civil suit against these career criminals that occupy these courtrooms.